Hey, there's a statement going around that all media is good media. Or is it? Now, I could say yes, but not always for the reasons you think it is. Let me take you back a little bit. I used to have a very successful private concierge firm. A lot of you already know that. I worked only with millionaires and billionaires, Elon Musk, Richard Branson, Elton John, the Vatican. I did some amazing experiences for the most powerful people in the planet. In fact, at one stage, I was called the Make-A-Wish Foundation for people with really large checkbooks. But you know, the thing is, my anonymity was what helped me a lot of the time. People didn't know I was getting into places that quite simply me or my clients shouldn't have been allowed to get into. And there was always this kind of like, how did you get to play with that rock star? How did you get to walk on roll on the movie? How did you get that museum shut down? But because no one really knew much about me, or even the guy that made it happen, it worked very well for me. Now, I did have media over the years. You can't run an agency like that. And I openly say we invented the personal concierge business. We started in the 90s and, we were around before the black card. We started to do these things and we got media, and I was living over in Switzerland and I was living over in Palm Beach, and we started to get local press, this company that does it. Nothing big, nothing that harmed any of my attention. Now, as I say, anonymity was very, very good for me because I could turn up and go, look, we're not going to broadcast it. We're not going to say that you're up for sale. We're not going to say that money can buy anything. We're just going to help you, help us make an incredible experience for our clients. And along the way, such and such benefits, whether it be you, your establishment, the charity, or your bank account, whatever it was. And I had worked with Forbes, I'd worked with the Rob Report, I'd worked with a number of these groups where they're going, hey, Sims, where's the best things going on in the Monaco Grand Prix? Where's the best restaurants in LA? Where's this in Tokyo, Roppongi? They would come to me and I would help them out. And it would be like this sauce that I would be put in there, but nothing big. And then one day, they said, we've been working with you for a while. You're getting bigger. You're doing a lot more. I've been working with music award shows, fashion, all over the place now. So my logo of Bluefish was getting out there a lot more. They said, we've got enough information. We'd like to write a little article on you. And I was like, great, that'd be lovely. What I wasn't expecting was what came. Now, I don't keep my phone with me at my bed. I very, very, very rarely do that because I don't want to be disturbed. I also don't want to wake up in the middle of the night and go, oh, did I do this? And then reach for my phone, and then all of a sudden I'm locked into that and I'm not getting the peace that I need. But on this one night, I had my phone with me. I don't know why, the kids were out or something, and I just had the phone with me just in case. And I woke to a text. And the text was, hey, congratulations, Wizard of Oz. And he was buzzing and he was trying to ring me. And I looked over and I'm like, cheers, or something like that. And he kept on ringing. And so I answered the phone eventually. Now, the downside is he's in New York, I'm in LA. So 3-hour difference. It's like 6:30 in the bloody morning. He's like, dude, Wizard of Oz. Well done. I'm like, what do you want about? What are you talking about? What do you want? And I'm getting a little bit grumpier. I'm also annoyed with myself because I had my phone by the side of my bed, which I shouldn't have done. If I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have had this problem. And he kept on calling me the Wizard of Oz to the point that it was actually starting to piss me off. And then he said to me, he said, have you not checked out Forbes? And I was like, no, why would I? Plus the fact it's 6:30 in the fucking morning. Why would I be doing that? And he sent me a link. It was in print and it was online. Of course, it lives forever online. And you can actually Google it. If you look up the man with the coolest job, stevesims, you'll see it up there. It's got me with Richard Branson, Michael Milken. I think there's a picture of me with Donald Trump, Elton John, a whole bunch of different people getting up to some weird and wacky stuff. But they did an 8-page spread on me. 8-page. That's massive in any publication, especially such a huge publication as Forbes. Now, I thought to myself, like you would, oh my God, working for billionaires all over the planet, I am going to get a flood of billionaires that come at me now wanting me to do this wild and wacky stuff. Quite the reverse happened. It took until about 1 o'clock in the day for me to lose 60% of my business. You see, all of these very, very powerful people never had the connections that I had, but didn't want anyone to know that the way that they had done this amazing experience was by basically getting hold of this bald fellow over in LA. So they couldn't be shown to be working with me anymore because it undermined them as the powerful connector. So I got a lot of people going, oh, Sims, I saw this. Congratulations. Oh, it's going to be great for your business. Sorry, fella. I'm going to have to cancel that, or I'm not going to be able to work with you because, I can't have my boys knowing that you're the man that can. And I lost about 60% of my business and probably near about 80% of my ballers, or my really big boys that were spending like $500,000 for a weekend. And it crushed me. And I was devastated. What I did get was a bunch of the scrapers, the little floaters out there. They're like, oh, I want to hang around with millionaires. How much will it cost me for this? And those are never the conversations you want to have. And so it really did shake up my business. And I really thought, hang on a minute, I'm going to go pop. I'm going to go bankrupt. And so I remember looking at it at the time and remembering this, all media is good media, and going, no, it's not. It's just killed my business. It's not great. And people were like, congratulations. I was like, thank you very much. I was very, very angry and annoyed about it. And then it opened up a different door. You see, my business was now in the shitter. It was in the toilet. The image was great. The media I was getting. And let's be blunt, in today's world, we all wished we looked like we were having the life that we lead on Instagram, okay? No one shows you getting the sores. No one shows you getting the red letter bills. No one shows you getting the toxic client. You don't show any of that on Instagram. You only show the highlight reels of the world is rosy and perfect and your shit don't stink. That's basically what social platforms are for. And so everyone was looking at me going, I'm getting this media. And of course, when one major publication starts giving you that media, all the other major publications want it. The Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, the Robb Report. I got so much media, so much. And I got the wrong clients. It attracted the wrong people and repelled the people that I had been working with. So during this period of time that my business was pretty crap, I was introduced to a fella who said, look, with all you're getting, you should write a book. And I was like, really? And they introduced me to Simon & Schuster, one of the largest publishers, I would say in America, but in the planet, who asked me and confirmed that they wanted me to write a book, and it ended up become Bluefishing, the Art of Making Things Happen. A book which I thought no one would ever touch, no one would ever read, because it was so simple in the tactics that I had used to be able to pull off the most amazing things in the planet with the most amazing people in the planet. And it took off. And all of a sudden, this business was dying, but the media had propelled me into another frame. It had opened up another door. Now I had an international best-selling book. I had stages. I had corporate clients. Completely different model. So was that media bad for me? Yes, it was bad for that business. It wasn't bad for this business. And let's be blunt, I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't change it for a millimeter. I absolutely love the business that it's got me into. So yes, media is good, but it may not be good for the thing you're looking at it. But what you've got to be able to do, and I've said this many, many times before, getting attention is one thing. What you do with it is everything. I was able to, once I got a few eyeballs over here, I was able to pivot my conversation. So in a world that we're in today, mass distortion, distraction, noise, all those kind of things, yeah, media's great, the right kind of media. Let's be serious now. We're all running around chanting fake news, but you've got to make sure that when you get it, and I'm not talking about media, I'm talking about attention. When you get that attention, don't waste it. It ain't a field of dreams. You ain't going to get that piece of media and all of a sudden you're going to have to hire extra people to answer your bloody phone. It is not going to happen like that. What you've got to do is you've got to be able to perpetuate it. You've got to push it out there. Again, for the rest of your life, think about this. Getting attention is one thing. What you do with it is everything. Accept it, utilize it, use the shit out of it, and then make something with it. But it's theirs for you. It's the ingredients for your future and your attention. Don't waste it. All the best. Hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. You know what to do. If you love it, share, subscribe, but more than anything, do something with it. And remember, life's too short to play it safe. So disrupt, connect, and grow. See you next time.